So these right here have been released for about 2 years, and they are the AirPod Maxes. So once they were released back in about 2020, 2021, they were on a super long waiting list. Shipments were taking 12 to 14 weeks because everyone was so hyped about these products. But now, 2 years later in 2023, are they really worth it? Are they still the same headphones that Apple released? The AirPod Maxes are a very interesting and unique design by Apple. They were in fact Apple's very first over-ear headphones. Now, when they got released, as I mentioned in the introduction, everyone was super excited about them. Me personally, I was super excited about them, but with the hefty price point of $779, I believe, it wasn't really the most affordable option. Now you can pick up second hands for $300. Matter of fact, these right here were $300 about worth value. So in my personal opinion, I think that's a really good price for what these headphones offer. So starting with the design of the headphones itself, it's an all metallic kind of feel on the outside of the headphones. Now I have myself the space gray version, and they also come in all of these colors. Now the earmuffs themselves are detachable, as you can see. They're a magnet. Now this is the inside of the headphone, and then you can just snap it right back into place, just like that. So very nice design. I do really appreciate how they do snap out, because that allows you to clean the earmuffs themselves so that you can ensure that they are always nice and clean. Now, I also really like the ergonomic design around the AirPod Maxes. So they fit really nicely on the head and they look pretty good, as you can see. Now, right over here, this little mesh feels really good as it allows you to be able to, have your scalp all comfortable, and it's nothing too hard pressing against your head, which is very useful while you're using them for an extended amount of time. Now, the AirPod Maxes are also adjustable, as you can tell right over here. You can adjust them, so it allows you to be able to use them depending on how big your head is. Talking about the controls of the AirPod Maxes. Now, the button over here on the side allows you to adjust the volume, and if you click and hold it, it allows you to cycle through the different listening options, that being transparency or noise cancellation. Now, with the software update that was released some time ago, you're able to use your AirPod Pros. Matter of fact, I have them somewhere over here. I don't know where they disappeared. Anyways, I'll find them. But with the AirPod Pros, you were able to use adaptive audio. Now, the AirPod Maxes do not have adaptive audio, which is unfortunate. Adaptive audio is it's a very interesting use case. Like, the people that would be using adaptive audio would most likely be in big cities where there's lots of stuff going through, lots of stuff that they'd also like to block out. Now, I don't see myself personally wearing this in a big city because I feel like they're more for studio use or for travel. Now, personally, I got these because I'd like to test them out on a trip that I have next week over to Vancouver. We are actually meeting up with Eric at Tech Realism and Ben from Half Men Half Tech, so stay tuned for that video. So for travel, I think the AirPod Maxes would be a very good fit. Now, for day-to-day use, like when you're commuting, I know some people use it, but it wouldn't be the most convenient option, because I do feel like with lots of movement, the AirPod Maxes tend to not have as snug of a fit as you'd like, and they kind of shake around and can tend to fall off of your ears, off of your head. But overall, I have been using the AirPod Maxes. I did try to play basketball with them, and it did shake around a little bit, but it still did its job. I did use video editing, Premiere Pro with the AirPod Maxes, and it was an absolute delight to edit in these $800 headphones. I mean, the sound quality is absolutely insane. It's so crisp, it's so clear. I found myself thinking that somebody was in the room talking to me while I was editing my latest video. And that's just because of how immersive the sound really is. It has full spatial audio, noise cancellation. Matter of fact, my mom walked into my room while I was video editing and she had to turn the light on and off to get my attention because it just blocks every single piece of unwanted audio, which is so beautiful and so useful. Again, if you're traveling, you're in a plane, there's a baby crying, you'd like to get some sleep, and you just like to cancel out the audio. Now, what about the AirPods Max smart case? Now, this case is absolutely useless. Its only purpose is an off switch, which basically means that once you put the AirPod Maxes in the case, they turn off, which is not really useful because a case is supposed to protect your headphones as well, protect your pricey investment. Now, these being $800, you'd expect a more premium case than just a flimsy case that acts like an off switch. Now, it does protect the little muffs right over here on the outside from minor scratches, but other than that, it is not good for drop protection and things of that sort. So your best bet would be to go over to Amazon or some other third party and purchase a third party case that would deliver the same off switch but also deliver great protection. Now, the battery is very good on the AirPod Maxes. It lasts about 20 hours, and overall my use of the AirPod Maxes has been very good. I've gone days on end editing on Premiere Pro, listening to videos with the AirPod Maxes for testing purposes, and I didn't charge it. I had it outside of the smart case and I never lost battery. So you'd be more than good using the AirPod Maxes as your daily driver. Now, the charging is also very quick because 5 minutes of charge offers you, I believe, 30 minutes of listening time, which is pretty good. Now, a downside of the AirPod Maxes is that you cannot use them wired. So you'd have to get a USB, or I should say a Lightning to 3.5 millimeter earphone jack connector, and then an earphone jack connector to USB-C or Lightning to connect over to your iPhone or respective device. Now, talking about USB-C, that is something else that the AirPod Maxes do not have. They have the old Lightning that is now long gone. Now, hopefully we will soon see an updated version of the AirPod Maxes that will bring adaptive audio as well as USB-C, which will just make the whole ecosystem even better and nicer. Now, the microphones on the AirPod Maxes do sound fine. Now, they're not great, especially depending on what device you're using, because if you're using an Apple product, they will be able to customize and adjust to their AirPod Maxes since it is in the Apple ecosystem. Using them on some other Bluetooth enabled device, the microphone would still sound good, but it wouldn't be able to adapt to your surroundings just as an Apple product would be able to. Now, what's nice about the AirPod Maxes is the fact that you can use them with other Bluetooth enabled devices. You're not just stuck in the Apple ecosystem. You're able to use them on Windows, you're able to use them on Samsung. You just have to put them on your head, and that way it'll recognize that somebody is actually wearing it, and press and hold the digital crown that's right over here on the right earphone, and it'll go into pairing mode and you can select your AirPod Maxes, the Bluetooth device section. Now, something else about the AirPod Maxes is as they are an Apple device, you are able to use Find My, which is really nice. Just in case you lose them, you'd like to ping them, play a sound, there they are. You're going to be able to find them. So whether you should spend $780, $800 with tax is really up to you. The AirPod Max is a spectacular pair of headphones, and I appreciate the smart features like auto pause and transparency mode that are super practical. They sound great, they're well built. The case isn't the best, nor are the plugins like USB-C or the earphone jack. Now, for the average user, I think these headphones would be a great pair. You could use them for video editing, travel, and your occasional day-to-day use in the real world. Now, let's say you'd like to work out or do lots of movement, or you'd like something that's just more solid or less expensive. You might want to go for some Sony headphones or some Bose headphones, which we're going to be checking out in a future video. So if you want to see that, make sure to stay tuned, like this video to let me know that you like this sort of content, and comment down below your thoughts. Would you get the AirPod Maxes in 2023, 2 months before 2024? Or would you rather get some cheaper version of these headphones and still have the same premium features? Make sure to share this video around and subscribe with notifications on if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Threads, and Facebook, where I update you guys regularly. And these are the AirPod Maxes. I love them. I think that they're worth it depending on what you'd like to use them for, but there's also some other great headphones in the market. So that was just my little ramble review of the AirPod Maxes in 2023. Should you get them? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't recommend it, nor do I don't recommend it. I think it's up to you. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.